Are we on
Are
the
we on the air?
Are we on the air?
I think we on the air.
We on the air. Hey Cherie,
Hey,
how you doing?
I'm full.
Listen, I've had enough of leftovers. I just want to move on to the next thing and eat a little more
Man,
healthy.
I had leftovers before I got here, and I was like, okay, I think I'm done. I think I'm officially done. I was supposed to freeze it. I didn't get no freezer bag, so I was like, we
No,
just gonna take it out.
no more leftovers. Let's get on with the show.
All right.
Music, please.
Step into the limelight.
All right.
All right.
Welcome, everyone. This is the first episode of December, the last month of 2021. Can I get an amen and a
Hand clap. Woo.
I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday. I know I did.
Yeah.
Shout out to Miku. Happy birthday, Miku.
Happy birthday, Miku.
On all the Sagittariuses. We have another Sagittarius in the building today. You guys are going to meet really quickly. So, yeah, shout out to all the Sagittarius.
Shout out to Sagittarius. Yes.
We like y'all.
we do. We unfortunately. No, I'm just playing.
But
Oh
yeah,
my God.
I had a wonderful holiday, and I'm just I'm excited to be here, and we have so much to talk about.
We do. We have an interesting topic today. We have a guest. We've got some pretty dope flashlights.
Mhm.
But before we get into all of that, we have our first sponsor.
What do you know?
Our first sponsor. Okay, so this tonight's episode is sponsored by D Slaps Beauty Bar. Ladies, there is only one place you want to go get your nails done for the holiday season, and that's D Slaps Beauty Bar. Come get spoiled with their complimentary mango mimosas and a variety of snacks as you receive your manicure, pedicure, or maybe something different like a good milk bath foot
Oh,
massage.
what?
Ooh. Yes.
A milk bath. foot
D
massage.
Slaps Beauty Bar also offers body sculpting and top quality facials for special customers like yourself. Stop by D Slaps Beauty Bar located in Torrance.
It's in Torrance. That's down the street or whatever.
Yeah. The address is 24401 Hawthorne Boulevard. Get the treatment you deserve. Again, that's D Slaps Beauty Bar located in Torrance at 24401 Hawthorne Boulevard. Ask for Tiana or Mocha and tell them that you heard it on Limelight Live on the Good News Radio.
Shout out to D Slabs Beauty Bar.
Mm.
I'm going and get the what is this milk thing? What is it vegan?
Glitter.
He wants you to know the sparkle hand.
This
movement.
means sparkle. Kelvin.
Shout out to Kelvin who is in the building. I think he just
incredible
had some
audio
leftovers.
engineer. Yes, that's what it is. Shoot. Yeah, I want to go here.
I do too. I haven't really been getting my nails done much lately because
No.
of Omicron.
Omicron, which Black Twitter has dubbed the Omarion variant.
Right.
He even tweeted something funny today. He said, I love staying relevant and I love making music, even if, my relevancy stays at, being named the new variant of anything. But he said, before anything else, please stay safe.
Right.
It was a good tweet, and he was allowed to,
I love his humor and his
yeah.
banter, and he's so chill. So shout out to Omarion and not the Omicron variant, but
Omicron.
We're gonna do a
It
video.
sounds Omicron sounds like a transformer. Somebody else said it sounds like a wrestling move. He hit him with that Omicron on the wrist.
Womp womp.
Listen, Twitter has been having a field day with the name of this variant. A very serious thing, but I'm glad we can poke fun at it now.
It touched down in California, so
yeah,
in San Francisco,
in
the Bay.
Child.
Not here, but I'm sure it's gonna make its way. I'm sure it's already here, but y'all just be careful out there. And I'm sure you all have been around lots of people in your family, so please make sure you go get tested. Regardless if you're a vax or anti-vaxxer, just be safe, you guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna get into these flashlight topics. Flashlight. As we said, a lot of things have happened this past week, and we had some very unfortunate news. I was really shocked to hear about this. For those of you who don't know, Virgil Abloh, legendary designer, passed away at the age of 41 years old due to a rare form of cancer that he did not speak about. He kept it pretty private.
It's called cardiac angiosarcoma.
This is I'm shocked. Just he just was such a pivotal person in the community and the culture, as an African American, being first of his breed to be in the position that he was in, being the lead designer for Louis Vuitton, and of course we know about him and his relationship with Kanye, and it's just really, really sad.
Yeah,
it really broke my
sad.
heart.
And he was so young. He's only 41 years old. He leaves behind a wife and children. Virgil is a staple, I think, in fashion.
Yeah.
He really left his mark, and he really made he inspired a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it just sucks that he was so young, and we lost him. He lost his battle to cancer. But shout out to his family and all of his loved ones.
Definitely. I saw something too about their delaying a release that was supposed to be released due to his death. And shout out to Louis Vuitton that put on a big show.
Yeah.
And definitely, gave him his flowers at the show. They had his name in lights. It was remarkable. It was spectacular. And, as I would expect Louis Vuitton to do, I just was really happy that, they looked out for him. And yeah, I'm just sad. I don't really have too many words. It's just really, it sucks. Because like I said, he was very pivotal. He made it cool to be into high-end fashion, but from the inside out, from people who wanted to be creative. Of course, you have, the legendaries in this game. I forget, what's the older gentleman, uncle, that really got the Louis Vuitton bags out? I'm talking about. It's blanking me right now.
It's blanking me. The guy from New York.
Yeah. He had an event out here. Kisa would kill me. She's like, but yeah. So he made it very. Virgil Abloh made it, for our generation.
Yeah.
Very cool, very hip. He kind of changed the scope of Louis Vuitton from the inside. And I think he helped Kanye really establish himself as a fashion icon.
I remember it was 2009 when that photo released of Kanye and the Fashion Posse, right? And it's these group of guys, and they're all dressed super eccentric. They got their style and going, and I'm like, who are these dudes?
Dapper Dan.
That
was gonna kill me.
But and Virgil was in that photo, and I mean, you could look at that photo, and each guy in that picture, you were like, these guys, they want to do something. They're creatives. They love fashion. They're here to make a statement. And lo and behold, you look at Virgil's career, and he did just that. When he first started hanging around Kanye, he was just an intern at Fendi.
Yeah.
Right. And so his trajectory and what he's done and his passion, you've seen it manifest.
Yeah.
You saw him create it. So it's really sad to lose one.
I would even argue that he was one of the pioneers of bringing streetwear to the luxury
Absolutely.
brand.
Absolutely.
Because you weren't seeing tennis shoe Balenciagas like that. You know what I mean? It just wasn't a thing. So I definitely think he was very instrumental in that, and it changed the culture. So
yeah.
Rest in peace to Virgil. Shout out to his family. Our prayers and thoughts are with you. Kanye, I know he's having a hard time with it. So yeah, I pray for the best for everyone. So
yeah.
And also horrible news.
Yeah.
Los Angeles is just a mess right now, you guys. It is.
Please be careful if you live in LA, because the robberies that are happening in broad daylight, it's they do not care right now. And it's at an all-time high. And what's happening is it's the masks. It's the masks are what's making it easier for people to get robbed, and have unidentified suspects.
Yeah,
and stuff.
And it's getting
worse.
That's
what I read.
It's turning. They're saying it's literally turning into the Wild Wild West.
Yeah,
out here, which is not okay.
Yeah.
But if you have not heard, legendary musical icon Clarence Avant, who coincidentally was just honored a couple of weeks ago in the Hall of Fame, Musical Hall of Fame, his wife was murdered, shot and killed during a robbery at their home in Los Angeles, in the Valley area, very established neighborhood. The 81-year-old was gunned down in the couple's Beverly Hills mansion. I just found out today they actually made an arrest. Police say 29-year-old Ariel Maynor is responsible for fatally shooting the philanthropist in her home in the wealthy neighborhood of Truesdale early Wednesday. Maynor has an extensive criminal record and was out on parole, according to the police. In fact, just 1 hour after Avant was killed, police responded to another shooting at a home in nearby Hollywood, where they located the suspect.
I read that he shot himself in the foot.
Wow.
And that's how they got him, because
So yeah, so this is just an ongoing thing. They're targeting people. I don't know why, they didn't have armed security. I thought that normally in these types of neighborhoods,
right,
they have some sort of armed security.
Yeah.
Not to say that they're responsible. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's an inside job. I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
I'm not the law, but just to see, and obviously this is a brown man that did this. It just really hurts on both ends to see that our people are struggling so much so that they feel the need to go out and rob people. And they're not just robbing rich people. They're robbing people on Melrose.
Yeah.
Like people don't want to go to Melrose
Hollywood
Boulevard right now.
like, yeah.
Tourists. It's just not safe. And I think I saw something on the news. They were like, oh, well, I guess people are rethinking the whole notion of defund the police right now. And I'm like, no, because,
Right.
you guys are still crooked too.
Right.
But, if the economy sucks right now, people are really struggling. The PPP loans ain't popping like they were last year. You know what I'm saying? So people are getting real desperate. EDD done stopped and people are trying to figure out their way. And now you have the unfortunate, mishaps that are happening with robberies and deaths. And it's just crazy. So my prayers go out to the Avant family. I can't imagine. He's in his 90s.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? They said he's like unconsolable. Also, their daughter is the wife of the CEO of Netflix.
Oh, wow.
So this is really rocking the entertainment industry as a whole here in Los Angeles. So you guys, please be careful.
Yeah. Yesterday was World AIDS Day. The official event was held in Los Angeles at the Forum by the AHF, which is the AIDS Healthcare Foundation. I was actually there in attendance.
Was it a lot of people?
It was a lot of people.
Okay.
It was incredible.
It looked fun.
It was incredible. It was hosted by comedian Randy Rainbow. There were a lot of people there. You had to have your vaccination to get in, but the tickets were free. Tickets were free. Actually, I saw your cousin there. I saw Rico.
Oh, Rico be everywhere. Hi, Rico.
And then I saw Reggie.
Okay.
Yeah, Reggie was like, "Oh, come sit with me." He had better seats than I
we
did.
gotta get Reggie on the show.
He had better seats than I did.
Of course.
Way better seats than I did.
You had good seats.
No, I had terrible seats.
From where I looked at your
No, that's because where I was sitting, where he was.
Oh.
He had floor seats. I had nosebleed seats. And it just so happens he saw me at the concession stand. I was getting food. And he's like, "Where are you sitting?" And I let him know where I'm sitting. He's like, "2 of my friends just canceled. I have floor seats. Do you want to sit?" I was like, "Yes."
Shout out to Reggie.
So I got to see the show from the floor. It was dope. Jennifer Hudson, incredible. She did an amazing performance. I never thought I'd be able to get to see her perform. And I'm telling you, from the Dream Girl soundtrack, she did it. She sounded better than the movie. Jennifer Hudson is a voice you need to witness in person.
I have a confession.
What?
I still haven't watched the Aretha Franklin movie.
Oh, no, I haven't either.
Okay, we're good.
But she performed cuts from that.
Crystal's giving me looks.
She performed cuts
Give
from
me a
that.
womp
Womp. Yes. Get it together, Sharmik. Jennifer performed cuts from the Respect movie from Dreamgirls from a couple of her singles.
Okay.
And then her favorite song, Hallelujah. She did an incredible job. And then the night ended with Christina Aguilera, who came out. She performed.
So powerhouse vocals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Powerhouse vocals all night. She performed. She did several of her hits. And just promoted the overall mission of AHF as they continue to work and raise money and research for AIDS awareness and HIV treatment. And yeah, it was just an incredible night.
I think that's so, because I think the misconception in 2021 is that AIDS and HIV is not really a thing anymore.
Right.
And it's very much so still alive and it's
there's a huge stigma still attached to it. Yeah. What has changed is because of programs like the AHF is the research that has gone into it and the medication and the progress that's been made. We're talking 30 something years ago, the cocktail to keep somebody alive was about 20 pills. And now somebody who lives with HIV can take a 1-a-day pill and lead a completely normal and healthy life.
Undetected.
And become undetectable, which means that if you know anything, there's a program called U = U, which it means undetectable equals untransmittable, because it's no longer detected in the blood. And so it's organizations like this that have made strides like that. And it was just incredible to be there and be a part of that and witness it.
That's awesome.
It was amazing. So
shout out to that.
Yeah. And speaking of Christina Aguilera, The upcoming People's Choice Awards is awarding her with the first ever Music Icon Award.
Shout out to Christina.
She's
I'm a
doing her
genie in
thing.
a bottle.
You know
I'm
what
a
I mean?
genie in a bottle. Glitter.
So yeah, so she's set to perform a medley of her biggest hits and music, and including cuts from her upcoming second Spanish album. Her first Spanish album was released back out in like 2001, 2002. And she even spoke about it last night at the World AIDS Day event, and she's like, there's nothing like Latin music. I've always intended on doing a follow-up to my Spanish record, and I got to work with some incredible creatives and musicians and other artists. So I love that she tapped back into that, because I remember being in high school and loving her Spanish album.
I gotta check it out. I don't think I ever checked it out.
Yeah, it's very Latin pop. It was definitely, for the time that it was a hit. It was a pop. It charted. And I'm glad she's revisiting that. Her father is from Ecuador, so she's half Ecuadorian. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So shout out to Christina Aguilera.
I like Latin music,
Yeah.
Like little Jocelyn Hernandez comes across a little bit. And we like, do it like it's my B-day. So yeah. There's definitely a market. I think that's dope that she's doing that for sure.
Another person who's being highlighted at the People's Choice Awards is Kim Kardashian, who's set to receive the Fashion Icon Award. So she's not only a nominee, she's already a winner. NBC and E announced on Tuesday, November 30th, that the entrepreneur, fashionista, and beauty mogul will receive the Fashion Icon Award at the 2021 People's Choice Awards on Tuesday, December 7th. The Skims founder and mother of four will be honored for her keen style sense, unprecedented business success, and single-handedly transforming the fashion industry through her innovative designs and trend-setting style over the past decade. So, all right, Kim K. Like, okay. I will say, be it as you, I'm not necessarily like a huge Kim fan, but I'm not a Kim hater either. And I have to agree, though, that she does hold her own when it comes to style and when it comes to fashion. People do look to her for her style, and people like to imitate the trends that she puts out and stuff. So I have to give it to her. She does have that power and that influence. So I think this award is probably appropriate.
Okay. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. So all right, congrats, Kim K.
Yeah, we can clap for her, I
suppose. Did you hear about this, that Jack Dorsey left Twitter?
I did not.
Yeah, the CEO of Twitter left. He left on Monday. And I mean, there was some like, I didn't dig too deep into it, but apparently there was a lot of drama involved in regards to that. But he released a statement on Twitter, and his tweet said, "Not sure anyone has heard, but I resigned from Twitter." Dorsey himself explained things this way. He said, "This was my decision and I own it." He wrote naturally on Twitter, "The company needs change," he said, "and the presence of a founder at the helm severely limits that possibility. Some might argue that only a founder can make truly significant changes, but whatever." He enthusiastically endorsed Agrawal, who's going to replace him. And Agrawal began at Twitter as an engineer, and he also praised Taylor, who's somebody else who's taking, I guess, like a dual role. Sometime next spring, he will relinquish his board membership entirely to let the new team operate free of his influence.
So I did hear this, though. Yeah. So Agrawal, he's already getting backlash.
Oh,
did you hear about that?
No.
I don't know how. Okay, I need to know how people are finding people's tweets from over a decade ago. Like, how do you just like go through someone's stuff to just find dirt?
I know
on
how
them?
to do it. If you go to the search bar, you put their
free game. Everybody.
You put their @name and then a word.
Okay.
And then it'll pop up. So let's say you want to see if somebody ever tweeted the N-word. It's that simple. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or like, I know that like the Barbs do this, Nicki Minaj's fans, but they will, they'll do that and put Nicki Minaj to see if they've ever tweeted something bad about Nicki, and then they will go terrorize their
Okay. Well, no wonder, because the new Twitter CEO, Parag Agrawal, tweeted back on October 26, 2010, and I quote, "If they are not going to make a distinction between Muslims and extremists, then why should I distinguish between white people and racists?" So people are upset.
Yeah.
But I said, where's the lie?
Mm-hmm.
Just me personally. I just, I like him. He's got my vote.
Yeah.
So shout out to you, Mr. Agrawal from 2010. We're gonna give him a clap. Because where's the lie? I get what he's saying. He's not calling all white people racist, but he's saying basically to put all Muslims in the same boat as extremists is to essentially do the same thing as to call all white people racist.
I 100% agree.
I like him.
Yeah.
And this is in 2010. So yeah, shout out to him. Said, yeah, I didn't know the former CEO, Jack, stepped down. I thought Jack was always really cool.
Yeah.
But
he stepped down on Monday, or
he's still a billionaire, right?
Yeah.
So shout out to him. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I like to see it. People of color.
Yes. And for our last flashlight of the week, Rihanna shut down pregnancy rumors with a very Rihanna DM. So this week she was honored. She was honored on her island. Rihanna became the 11th person ever to be named a national hero in Barbados this week. But tabloids and some social media were far more fixated on whether or not she could be expecting her first child with boyfriend A$AP Rocky because of the orange dress she wore. So if you saw the picture, she was walking the red carpet and she was getting honored, and allegedly like her stomach was poking out a bit or whatever. And I guess leave it to your own interpretation. People ran with that and were making official announcements that she was expecting her first child. I love exactly what she said. She said something, she tweeted something to the effect of, you people try to breed me every year. So she shut down the rumors, but it's just like, I really wanted to talk about this because it's like, unless they say it themselves, it is up to no one to decide what someone's body looks like, whether they're pregnant or not. Like, no, I think that, like, don't run with that rumor and start this rumor. Like, I felt like that was disrespectful.
It was deep though, because like people were making posts. A whole, I'm not gonna say no names, you know who it is, a whole radio station DJ from the radio station we hold very near and dear to our hearts had a whole thing where he was playing sad music. He was like, I don't know if you guys heard, Rihanna's pregnant, y'all. Like, he was really in a mood. It was like, I'm like, really? Like, this is what we're doing right now? Men were really sad.
Fast.
Right. The woman she was eating. She been eating. It's been COVID.
No, I mean, I had so much dressing. Listen, I can't even button these pants right now. So get off her. Leave her alone.
Leave Rihanna alone. Let her have a baby when she's ready. And I think it's, on a serious note, it's really not cool, because there are people that do suffer fertility issues, women that can't have a baby, or they're just not ready, or they're not in the right position. Obviously she has a lot of money, but that doesn't mean she's ready, right? And you have to choose wisely who you make babies with out here in these streets, right? So I thought her little clapback was funny. I said to myself, once she shuts it down, then we'll know. Yeah. And I figured she would, and she did today. So y'all go somewhere.
Yeah. And that was it for our flashlights.
Yeah.
Flashing lights.
Wow.
All right. Well, we're going to get into our main topic of the night. But before we do that, just make sure you guys are following us on Limelight Live Show. Make sure you are following the Good News Radio as well. And tap in. You can still call us in. Call and talk to us. 323-900-0478. If you have anything you want to say, sound off on, or if you want to ask questions. But I'm going to go ahead and introduce our lovely guest of the evening. I've known this amazing young woman since my freshman year of high school. Yeah. Which was some years ago. Yeah. And I met her officially dancing. I want to say, were you the teacher's aide?
Probably.
I think you were the
teacher's
aide. You used to
dance too?
Oh yeah, I used to dance.
Shout out. And speaking of which, I do have to extend a condolences to Diamante Corps. We did lose our beloved Papa Zach, who was our master drummer dance teacher back at Berkeley High School. So rest in peace to him, and shout out to all of our Berkeley High and Diamante Corps family in Oakland. I wish I could be there, but that really did break my heart finding out about that. But nonetheless, I met this amazing woman in that setting. we were doing some Afro Haitian. She was just a boss. And I just, my attention stayed glued to her at all times. And then coming to LA and hey, you're here.
Yeah.
So she's an amazing actress. She can still dance. Ain't no use to dance, nothing. She can sing, voiceover. She's in commercials. She just had some amazing success being featured on 20s, which I think is an amazing show. I'm really excited to have her here and I'm happy for her. Everybody welcome Miss Crystal Gix.
Yay, Crystal.
Hey.
Crystal, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. And yeah, I want to say RIP to Papa Zach and just send him some love. Send the love to the family too out there.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here.
Yeah.
What a lovely introduction, Cherie.
I know. Like, I was like, who are you talking about?
I know great people.
But you really have been popping. Like, I mean, I've been seeing on your IG. I'm like, man, Crystal is busy. Booked and busy.
She was even featured on the news for being booked and busy.
Yes.
There was a feature on her
I saw
where they were discussing people that were still going after gigs and doing virtual auditions, and they featured her on them. So you booked getting booked.
Yes.
They showing you through the process. So
right.
it's so awesome. Right. But yeah, so Crystal, just tell everybody, a little bit about your journey, and then we'll really dig into this topic and get your insight.
All right. Well, I started, acting as a kid and doing background. I don't want to date myself, but like Angels in the Outfield came to Oakland and I was like, let me be in the movie. And they was like, okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because you younger than me. You wasn't born, I don't think. But
I was 2 years.
Listen, I'm dating myself. But yeah, basically, when you're a kid, you just ask for what you want. And that's how that kind of started. The bug was already there. I was walking around set. And I was just like, dang, why are they messing up that house? But I just knew back then that this was what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I didn't pursue it at all throughout high school or anything like that. Went to school for film, for college. And then, after grad school, I was like, I want to get back into it. I had done the dancing. I'd done, tried to do music or whatever, but it was easier for me to get into film, and that's really what I wanted to do. So I did film school, and then when I was in Texas, I started auditioning for short film projects. I tried to get an agent because I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
You think, oh, you're supposed to get an agent first.
Yeah.
That's not what you're supposed to do. You need to know what you're doing first before you seek representation. So I got denied like 3-4 times. And then they finally was like, all right, cool. They kept telling me to go to class. So I did what they said, and I got an agent. And then I started booking work, industrial work in the area in Houston. And then, I eventually made my way back to LA, to California.
Yeah.
And then I signed with an agent up in San Francisco. I had an agent here for a little while, and I just been booking work. You're like, you get a lot of no's.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been getting a lot of yeses, so I'm blessed.
Come
I'm
on.
grateful.
Come on. Yes.
Oh, Kelvin knows when to put the glitter on.
Yes.
Okay.
I love it. Okay. So tonight's topic is navigating oversaturated markets. Okay. What does that even mean? What is an oversaturated market and how does it apply here, right? How does it apply to us creatives? We're going to discuss what it means in that regard and how it pertains to the entertainment industry and how to overcome the notion that certain careers and aspirations are unattainable due to them being, quote, oversaturated. And it's not just the film industry. It's like
it's all kinds of
everything.
Things. Yes.
From fashion, music, film, everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
So I have a micro definition. Okay. Well, it says, what is an oversaturated market? From a micro perspective, market saturation is when a specific market is no longer providing new demand for an individual firm or person. This is often the case when a company faces fierce competition or an individual faces fierce competition or reduces the market's need for this product or service or talent. The entertainment industry as a whole, but it's different though. I think it's more macro than micro in the entertainment industry. So being that there's always a constant demand for it, it's just there's so many people, and then you just get lost in the fold.
Yeah.
And so you mentioned, Crystal, that you danced, you sang, you did everything else, and you really felt like your niche was in acting. We know everybody in LA is an actor. Everybody in LA is an actor. They're working at whatever restaurant, they're bussing tables, and they're going to auditions.
And driving Uber.
And Lyft, and they're going to auditions. Yeah. So technically speaking, many people would say acting is an oversaturated market. That probably
Mhm.
shouldn't be something you might want to get into. I mean, and you can tell us how your family responded to you saying this is what I wanted to. Okay, I see the eyebrows.
Oh, okay. So I got a master's degree.
Okay. Come through with the
But I'm
master's
in here,
degree.
I'm out here as the starving artist.
Right.
Right.
So that's pretty much how my family responded to this. I'm pursuing acting after I got, the bachelor's in film from San Jose. That because we also went to college together.
Dang, we did.
You forgot that part. But going to school there and then going to get my master's over at Full Sail in
Mhm.
entertainment business, it was like, okay, well, what you about to do with this? And I was like, I'm gonna be an actor. And it was like, you mean you want to be broke? And
Mm.
they were supportive of it, but it was also, and even to this day, my mama be sending me, BART hiring. They make $45 an hour.
That is Bay Area Rapid Transit, for those of you that don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, that's our subway system
Uh-huh.
up in the Bay. And yes, I still
They
get.
got good benefits.
They do. They really do. Everybody's hiring. PG&E is hiring. I get this all the time to this day,
Mhm.
and I'm on. I've just started being on TV, just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit, but I'm still like, they're still
Yeah.
concerned.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
mom, they just want the best for you. They don't want you to suffer.
Right.
So
Right. So was it ever like intimidating to you, or like, oh, there's everybody you meet in LA as an actress or a singer or a model? Like, is it space for me? Is there space for me to really make my mark in this field?
yeah, I mean, at the beginning, I first came here for film school at the Art Institute in Santa Monica. It's no longer here. But
I went to AI also.
Yeah.
Womp, womp,
Wah, wah, wah.
I got my degree though. Don't get it
Okay, well
twisted.
then
Okay.
hooray. But I wasn't pursuing it then. I thought I wanted that then, but I didn't know nothing about nothing, and I was
Yeah.
18.
Mm.
So, by the time I started up in Houston, it was super intimidating because you're seeing people that you might know, or people, that you might know indirectly
Mhm.
do this, and then like they're really good, and then you start taking classes and you like the worst one in the class, or you feel that way.
Mhm.
So moving here, being that I couldn't get an agent and I wasn't booking work, you start to gauge that as your permission. Like, okay, well, I haven't gained notoriety, I haven't gained permission to be,
Right.
in it. I'm not worthy of being out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was intimidated, and it wasn't until 2018 I came out here with my old coach, and I sat in one of his classes, and it was his advanced class, and I was going toe to toe with them, and I was like, "This is your advanced class?" I was like,
oh.
as soon as this job is over, because I was on a contract, I was like, as soon as this is over, I'm out, and I'm going back to LA, and that's just what I did.
Mm.
And it's been the journey has been a roller coaster, but all this stuff has been very, very, I don't know the words. It's been really good.
Good.
It was really hard, but it was really good.
Yeah.
Good.
I think for me, I've done a few things in LA. I mean, my start here was in fashion, and then like I wasn't a stylist. I got my degree in fashion marketing, but I worked with a lot of stylists, and oftentimes, I was always running into stylists. And I used to think, man, there's so many of them, and I'd be like, oh, this is oversaturation. Like, there's too many of y'all. Everybody can't be fighting to be dressing the same person and stuff. And then like I look at that, and I had that mentality of it's oversaturated. But I think to point out though, even though there might be so much of one thing, there's always a unique perspective. I interviewed Jamie Leah, she's the founder of Toasty, which is a CBD company.
Man, talk about a market.
That's quote oversaturated,
Right.
and she's a Black woman, and she started her lifestyle CBD and cannabis brand. And one of the main things that she got as feedback when she was starting out was people were always telling her the CBD space is oversaturated. But when I asked her what would be her advice to younger entrepreneurs who want to pursue this space, she said, do you think Rihanna created Savage X because she felt that she couldn't make a difference in the lingerie industry? No. She's like, her thought is that, yes, an industry can be saturated, but there's also no you. You have your own perspective. You have your own view on things. So whether, you're in fashion, or whether you want to be a chef, whether you want to be an actor, whether you want to be in media, even in my own background in publicity, like all of these things, they are all oversaturated.
Yeah.
But what ultimately brings you to the forefront is being able, for your perspective, to break through all of that, which is something. So I wanted to reference that interview because that's something that really stuck with me when I was interviewing her, and I was like, that really stuck with me.
And you would think maybe if someone says, okay, this market is oversaturated, that might be more of a reason for you to want to get involved because obviously there's a demand for it, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, my personal experience was I was a publicist. I've been a publicist. I've been a dancer. I used to sing. I was on a rap group. You will never hear any of it ever in life. Okay. But I've done all the things that are super saturated now. And now we see, social media has really boomed. I'm like, dang, if social media was alive and well and booming back then, child,
forget it. It would have been a different game.
Okay, it would have been so different for me in my early 20s. But that just wasn't the case. And so trying to figure out your niche in an oversaturated market back then, it was less resourceful. You had to really know somebody or really figure things out or just get lucky.
Right.
To be completely honest.
Yeah.
So, for me, I'll admit that I've allowed the notion of something being a little too oversaturated to deter me.
Yeah.
Because I kind of want an open playing field. And then I've said it many times on this show, when you move to LA, you could be a 10 or 11 back in something Kentucky. Right. You come to LA, you're suddenly a 3.
Right.
And that's the reality of it. And not only are you a 3, there's 10,000 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s everywhere, doing the same thing that you want to do. So what do? You have to get clever, you have to get unique, and you have to be resourceful. So, I just, it's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot, but I definitely feel for people that are in these fields. And I think once you hit, I think the risk isn't as great as the reward.
Yeah.
So, and we see it with Crystal, she on TV and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to add to what you were saying. Dang, it just ran out of my head, but it was something to the effect of like knowing who you are.
Right.
That's like a huge part of it. And I think that's why when I came out here, it wasn't just like, oh, this is your advanced class, like I'm better than these folks. It was just like, I've already kind of figured out more about myself while I was in the smaller pond before I came to the big pond. And I was like, okay, let me use this to my advantage. And it's been working for me.
Yeah.
Like really just knowing you.
Yeah.
Like she said.
Yeah. That's, I mean, it's a big thing. I came from a small pond to the ocean.
You're from New Orleans, huh?
Yep.
Somebody messaged me today. They was like, oh, my homeboy. And I was like, who you on? Josh? Like, he from New Orleans? He from Nano? He was like, yeah.
Who?
Kevin Macklin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I went to grad school with him.
Okay, yeah, I worked with him years ago. Yeah, that's what actually I bumped into him out here in LA recently, and I was like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah, he comes out here frequently.
I love how that happened.
He's probably watching, possibly.
All right, Kevin.
Shout out Kevin.
Call in 322-900-0478.
So then, I mean, I kind of asked you before, and you touched on it. For you to keep going, because like you said, you got so many no's, right? Obviously, when you got a no, someone else got a yes, right? So many of these other people were getting yeses while you were getting these no's. Did the idea ever spark that, okay, maybe there's just not enough space for me here, maybe I need to think of something else? Or were you just that determined and you just kept pushing?
Baby, I was determined. Like,
that's what's
there's like, at first there's like, okay, there's only so many things that you can do as a plus size, brown skinned girl. There's not enough roles. There's all that. But you got to also look at the times. Things are constantly changing. And I knew something just told me in my spirit was like, as soon as I left LA, as soon as I left Houston, I said, something's going to pop. And no sooner than like 2 weeks that I was here, I started booking stuff back to back to back at the beginning, as soon as I got here a couple years ago. And in Houston, all the while, it was like, oh, you could be the mom, you could be the plus size this, the plus size that. And I still kind of get like just put in that box.
Pigeonhole?
Yeah, pigeonhole. Yeah. I still get, put in that little box or whatever, but I'm beyond that box. So I don't know if I answered your question.
No, you're saying that you kept going. You didn't let them limit you to those specific roles. I was actually going to ask you about that too, because now we're living in an era where diversity is cool, right? Listen. And now we're seeing brown skin actresses. We're seeing more plus size. I I say that with quotes because
Right.
what the heck is a plus size? I'm
Right.
normal size, okay?
Right.
And you're seeing more of this representation. So now do you feel as though that lane has become saturated, whereas, you're seeing more brown skin, more the not so typical
almost like it's
European
a trend
standard of beauty.
versus equity.
Yeah.
Like
definitely a trend versus equity, I feel like. But I don't think it's going anywhere.
Right.
Like with the pandemic, that's what I want to say. With the pandemic, everybody sat down, we're at home. So now we have more of a demand for content.
Right.
And who's always popping? Who's always making things pop off the Black and brown folks? No shade. That's
it's the
what
truth.
it is.
It's the truth.
That's the sauce,
Right.
So with that being said, it's like we need to get those folks out there. These are the folks that are popping on TikTok that are making things, super popular. So let me get these influencers on this show. Let's get this, and I got this show and I got that show. So, and then there's more folks of color who are creating content as well and casting
right
us.
Because that's the key right there
Yeah.
is to have these people in these roles that opens the doors for the other creatives to be able to step in
right
and show.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think it's I hope it's not a trend, because when you think of a trend, trends die down. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm hoping that this is something that's more established and it can grow. And not only are we being casted, we're doing the casting. We're being put in positions to where we can make and move things and shift the table.
We're sitting at the table.
We're at
Literally.
the table, darling.
Yeah.
So that's really dope. And I think, I'm hoping, and I say that with a grain of salt, like I'm hoping it doesn't turn out to where it feels that way, to where, oh, let's just throw this brown skin girl in there, because we need one.
Yeah.
I'm some instances I think it is like that. And I'm you making that face.
I can say something, but I want to stay on topic.
Say
It's
it.
on topic.
Okay, so this is an issue that I find, and I'm up for something, or I'm not up for, I just booked something today and I don't know what they put me. I don't want to lose my job.
You ain't gonna lose your job.
You about to lose.
I don't want to lose my job. But oftentimes when I get cast with a spouse or lover of any sort, he's always, I've never had, I think I just recently had a Black husband or something like that. I can't even remember, my brain is foggy, but I usually have like a white dude or just somebody who's not Black. It just, I never get a Black man. Like you can't be this brown with a Black man. It's a no in media and advertising. Like it's wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm in, I have a little tiny appearance in Station 19 in 2 weeks. And I was just so excited because there's a couple in there and they're both Black. Because it's like almost taboo. It's like you can't be
right. Because this is my frustration too. It's like let's do a mixed race couple, because now we're checking off certain boxes, and then that makes Black and brown people more palatable for white audiences. Nope, that like why can't you display Black and brown love? Because that's how we often see it in real life, and that's exactly what I don't know what they're thinking when they always do that. This particularly happens. This is a big thing for Black queer roles, because they always, anytime a Black queer man is cast in anything, his partner is always not Black, like 95% of the time.
So funny. Shout out to my boy Lawrence, aka Bobby Boy Bob, on Instagram. He literally had a post in his story yesterday, and it was a grave site, and it was RIP to white couples in commercials. And I said not just white couples, I said white heterosexual couples.
Yeah.
You don't see on TV anymore. It's always like this mixed race, or this mixed race gay couple, this mixed race heterosexual couple, or this mixed race lesbian couple.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something that they're doing. And so I'm like, okay, people are getting booked. That's great.
Right.
That's great.
Right.
But it's starting to feel so, very disingenuous.
And inauthentic. It's not reflective of the reality.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's try again, Hollywood. Like we're getting there. But
they're making efforts, but there's just it's like that guy with the Geico commercial.
Missing the mark.
You almost had it. And then that says something too for kids that are being casted. You're seeing a lot more mixed race children being casted in these commercials and in these roles and stuff. And then it's like, okay, I watched Queens the other night, and
I have a confession.
Eve's character has kids. She got these light, super mixed babies.
Listen,
with this black husband, and I'm glad the babies is getting jobs.
Yeah.
But it's like, can we just make a little bit more effort to stay true to form?
Yes.
Like let's just try to stay true to form just a little bit. Like let's make it authentic. Let's make it genuine. They could have had some other cute little brown kids to play their kids.
Absolutely.
These two wasn't gonna make no mixed baby.
No.
So it's stuff like that. And I think we are starting to see an oversaturation of that narrative,
Yeah.
And hopefully that's a trend that's gonna die down. But I want it to be genuine and I want it to be authentic. Me, as a producer now at Viacom,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to sway some things and make some things happen, on the back end to where we can have a lot more to say and it be impactful and it not be, like you said, disingenuous. Where we're just fulfilling a quota.
We need you. And somebody just said these mixed kids got a hold on Hollywood. On the industry. They say that these mixed kids got a hold on the industry. Oh, somebody pointing out the Wonder Years.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, because that is one of the shows that's like actually.
Shout out to ABC and Wonder Years. That show.
Shout out.
Let's get. You got to give them a hand clap. They did an excellent job. One of the characters' names is Kisa on the show.
Oh,
her name is Kisa. I was like, oh, she got a black name. I love it.
Come on.
That's funny.
But yeah, so I commend you, Crystal, because I think you saying you just went out there, you just kept going. You didn't let people sway you. Tell us, what is the audition process like in 2021?
In 2021, it is trying to make sure the dogs in your neighborhood are shutting up. And if you got neighbors that they're shutting up, and those types of things, that the flies are out of the house kind of thing, because you need to have at least a 3x3 space at bare minimum in your living quarters. So a lot of people in LA, I live by myself now, but it was hard for me to manage having roommates and having so many auditions. This year I've had over 100 auditions in the last 13 months. So that was crazy. And then we had 2 dogs. Now where I live, and there's still dogs, but I barely hear them. And I'm upstairs by myself. So you need at least a smartphone. Some people got flip phones still. I don't know why y'all still got flip phones. Can y'all hear me?
I don't believe it.
Womp, womp, womp. But in 2021, you need a 3 light setup at least, or just a ring light at least, a backdrop. You need your smartphone, a tripod or whatever. But a ring light, at least an 18-inch ring light will suffice if you can't afford to get the soft boxes and stuff like that. And other people have like way elaborate setups. You can get you a sheet from Walmart, get you some thumbtacks, and just put it up there. Make sure it's stretched, because we don't want no wrinkles in your audition. And learn how to edit on iMovie. And hopefully you have a laptop, because sometimes you got to edit on a computer too. So that's pretty much how it is. It's a self-tape. If it's not a self-tape, it's a Zoom.
Oh.
Zoom is taking place over the live audition.
Yeah.
So people are, their dogs, their babies coming in with the diapers off kind of thing. You could see that while you're sitting there, watching people. And it's kind of like, sometimes you can see like other people doing stuff, and then sometimes they'll go off screen or whatever. I kind of like the self-tape.
I was going to say, is it less or more intimidating?
I like Zoom and self-tape. And I know most people hate it, but I've gotten used to it. I'm like, I don't want to go back in person, because it is intimidating in person. You get to see all 50 people that's going after the same role, and you start having those feelings of, like am I good enough kind of thing.
Or, this is oversaturated.
Or, she come out laughing from the audition, or he come out laughing from the audition. And it's like, oh man, they know the director and the casting director or whatever. Oh man, they gonna get it. And then you go in there all defeated. Whereas I'm at home, I don't give a damn.
Right.
I'm mute. Y'all laughing, kiki, and that's cool.
So it's level. Cool. It's kind of leveled out the playing field for you a bit. That's what's up.
And I can really own the space too.
That's good.
That's awesome. I love it. I'm still auditions scare me a lot. But I've done it. But I've seen her do her setup and stuff. I'm like, girl.
I've seen my roommate do his setup, and it's it's funny. Everything you explained.
Everything right here.
Everything you explained.
Especially when you're trying to do something serious too, right? Like that's got to be kind of.
I mean, It's okay. It's just weird because you have to be the casting director. You have to be the director, the DP, the sound guy. You got to be the wardrobe, the editor,
audio engineer.
You got to be everything. And then like you got to get a reader still. And it's COVID. It's like I got people that I would love to read with me, but they be out in the streets and I test too much. Listen, this year I've been in a hut. Like I don't go out. This is crazy for me to be out here and I'm unmasked. Like I'm like, leave me alone because I've been so booked this year. I can't, like I've been hearing about people getting fired and I'm not trying to lose my little bag, you know?
Yeah, I've had to let people go that have tested positive for, on set. It's not
exactly. And it's like it's not worth it for me because of where I'm trying to go.
Yeah.
But back to the question. Which was what?
Just basically how has it been, because this, like I said, this market that you're in, it is people would consider it to be very saturated. There's a gazillion actresses and actors here in Hollywood and all over. Now it's leveled the playing field so much. You can do your audition in Kentucky.
You can. People are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now you don't even have to be in LA. So that just it levels the playing field, but it gives them a greater pool. To pull people from. So I was always curious, how that's been working out.
Yeah.
But it's been working for you.
It's been working, and I just auditioned for a few feature films that are out in like New Orleans and in Atlanta and stuff like that. And they'll ask, are you local? Because they don't want to pay for you to fly out and kind of thing, but they'll house you. But you got to get your own flight and whatnot. So you got to, I'm a modified local or I'm a local hire or whatever. So it's been a lot of that too. And I just started, I have to join SAG tonight. So I'm finally union as of tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yay. It's been a long time.
Cut the check.
Yeah. And a prayer.
Okay.
SAG want they 3Gs today.
And for those of you who don't know, if you step on set and you're SAG, and let's say I were to come on set and you were to come on set, we all got to get paid the SAG rate.
Yep.
If there's one person on that set. So you just brought up everybody's check.
Yeah.
Just on your own.
Yeah.
And even getting into SAG, I feel like that's like you just said. Can you explain for those who are listening the SAG process?
Man,
because it's tricky.
SAG is like the union that don't want nobody. They want you to join, but it's like damn near impossible to join because it's like, oh well, did you get a voucher? Oh well, did you get this and that? Did you taft it in? I got tafted in because of 20s.
Okay.
I've been at this almost 10 years.
What does tafted mean?
Oh, go ahead.
Taft hardly means that you are a non-union person working on a set that is a union project. So they selected you in the casting process and they want to hire you. Yeah. And in order to get you on set, they have to give you a SAG voucher. And because it's a big union project, they went ahead and I became eligible instantly.
Yeah.
Because of that. So I didn't have to do the 3 vouchers.
Right.
But thank you.
Because them 3 vouchers be hard to cut. It'd be like the freaking Willy Wonka and the chocolate factory trying to get them golden tickets.
Right, golden tickets.
I want a golden
and they're yellow. Well, sometimes they're yellow or whatever, but or green or something like that. But yeah, my friend was just asking me that yesterday. She was like, "I'm really trying to get SAG-E and da 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 da." And I was like, when you do these independent projects, they don't turn your stuff in, and you never get your footage, so they for sure ain't turning your vouchers. Like I've turned in so many vouchers and never got credits, and I would just be checking SAG all the time. So SAG is the union that actors join.
Screen Actors Guild.
Yeah, the Screen Actors Guild that has merged with AFTRA. And it took me almost 10 years because I was in Houston, which is predominantly a right to work state. And I come here and I've done all these non-union projects. Like my whole resume is non-union for the most part. And I just got my big, my first co-star. And so that was a union project. And
her name was in the credits.
It was in the credits, y'all.
It was in the credits.
I got me some credits or whatever. And then I got another credit coming up in 2 weeks on the 16th. Station 19. I ain't got no lines, y'all. So y'all gonna think I'm a background, but I'm there.
Okay.
and I got paid as a co-star.
Okay.
And that's another, so that made me a must join. And they gave me 30 days. It was like December 2nd, pay us, and then I booked this national today. And they was like, we ain't hiring you till you pay. So I was like,
all right,
I'm gonna have to find my
here's my
daddy.
Yeah. So the reason why I wanted you to get into that, because I think a lot of people don't know that when you are an actor and actress, it ain't just I'm here.
No.
There's like protocols, there's logistics,
there's fees
and dues, there's things you got to do, and there's a reason why you see the same couple people in some of the same stuff over and over and over
because
again.
they paid their fees and they do.
Listen, you got to pay dues every year.
Yeah.
And that $3K that you got to drop now, if you're in a different market, it's going to be cheaper. But when you come to California, you're going to have to pay up and pay what California pays.
Right.
Which is the same as New York. That's
Mhm.
the standard or whatever.
Because your girl's gonna be getting into PGA sooner or later.
Yeah, she is.
So we're gonna make that happen.
We're gonna make that happen.
So I'm glad you went over that. And feel free, you guys, to reach out if you have any questions. I'll try to answer them as best I can, or I can send you the website to go read yourself.
Yeah. It's confusing.
It is very confusing, and that's why I would say the market is saturated, but at the same time, not everybody makes it.
Listen,
people fall off because it's a lot more difficult than
everything
you think.
is saturated. Actually, I dealt with it a little bit myself, but I'm about to plug myself.
Okay.
But last week I started the first of my Insecure nights at Black House in NoHo. And so Black House is this it's a Black owned restaurant and bar and just fun setting, and they have a setup for like a screen, like a projector screen and stuff. They screen stuff all the time, and I wanted to do my own version of Insecure Fest and watch Insecure with my friends. That's literally what I wanted to do. I wanted to watch it in a group setting, and so I was like, hey, can I partner with you guys and create an event, and we'll call it Insecure Nights at Black House, and you just project the latest episode every Sunday, and we'll come up with some craft special cocktails and stuff. And they were like, yeah, we love it. Let's do it. And I was like, well, why would people come to my event? Because there's so many things happening in LA, right?
Yeah.
And I've been a publicist for years, and I've been a part of different agencies and stuff. And I've done events. Like I've done events, but it's always been attached to, an entity that I'm working for, right?
Yeah.
This is really kind of my first foray into events on my own. But I really felt like it was something that I wanted to do for the community, right? Like it was just, this is something we all watch together. Why not do it like this? Grab a drink, grab a meal. And I was like, why would people come? But people came. My friends came through, and I really appreciated it. And I'm gonna do it. Till the end of the season.
Make sure you there on Sunday.
Black House in North Hollywood. And yeah, I'm thankful because, again, whether or not an industry is saturated, right? Whether you think too many people are doing it, just fucking do it.
Right.
Write the book. Be the author.
Yes.
Be the influencer. There's a million whatever. Post your stuff.
Yeah.
Proudly. You know what I'm saying? Be the actor. Do the singer. Release the music, because now people can own it on their own, because we're thankful for social media. We're thankful for things like YouTube, because now, regardless of whether you're getting signed or not to a label, just do it.
Right.
Because we have so much at our fingertips now. And I must say that it feels better to have at least tried it and done it than to still be asking yourself, what if? Right? And I think that's ultimately what it all boils down to. Fucking oversaturated market. I'm cursing a lot tonight. Just do it. Just do it. Even if, and I'm a Virgo, I'm very much a perfectionist. And it's like, but it's like, you can't wait on that perfectionist mentality all the time. Sometimes you got to do it even when you're not ready.
Do it scared.
And it's like, and what's going to happen? What's the worst that's going to happen? It failed. So what? Do it again.
Right.
But did you die?
Right.
Yeah, but did you die? That's my motto.
You know what I'm saying? Obviously be smart about it, but as far as make sure you're not cheating people out of money or anything like that. But just, I think I just do these things, like screw an oversaturated market, start that business, be a cannabis owner, do that, because let me tell you, everybody's got an idea, but yours is yours.
You're a unique individual. And if you think about what the term saturation means, it usually means something is watered down, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why I put oversaturation in quotation marks, because to say something is oversaturated means it's not as authentic. It's not as thick as it used to be.
So now you got to add your flavor.
Exactly. And there's always going to be opportunity. And I think there's space everywhere for everyone. So I think, let's stop hating on people.
Right.
Particularly let's help each other. Me and Crystal come from the same place. I always got her back. I always got your back. We all have each other's back. There's space for everybody to be out here and win, because you are a unique individual.
Yeah.
Be a unique individual though.
Right.
Exactly. But be authentic and genuine about your craft.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So moral of the story is do that.
Yeah.
And
before we close out, I want to thank our sponsor again. Thank you to D Slaps Beauty Bar for sponsoring this episode. Remember, not only do they offer manicures and pedicures, but you can also get facials, body sculpting, full body massages, and foot massages. Again, located in Torrance, California at 24401 Hawthorne Boulevard. Make sure to ask for Tiana and Mocha.
Okay.
And let them
Tiana
know you
and
heard.
Mocha.
Yeah, that's make sure you let them know you heard about them here on Limelight Live at the Good News Radio.
I heard that. And Miss Crystal, if you could please tell us, I mean, you told us you booked and busy, but what you got going on, girl? And where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Crystal Gix. That's CrystalGix _. I want to know more about that Milky product.
Listen,
okay.
Should we go? Like, I want to go
together and we can film it.
All of us.
I mean,
Kelvin,
your skin looks good though.
We'll go to Torrance and we will listen. D Slaps, hey.
Right. We coming through.
Crystal, thank you so much for being
so
here.
much for
it was
having
lovely
me.
speaking to you.
Yeah,
appreciate you.
I feel
y'all.
inspired. It's just always good, especially people that you've known for such a long time and you've watched their journey and we've had conversations. And to see you blossoming and flourishing, it's just I'm just so inspired. I can cry.
Yeah,
but
I feel the same way.
So I'm excited. I'm excited. Everybody's doing good things, and I know Josh has some good news. We're not going to talk about just yet.
Next week, I need the ink has to dry. The ink has to dry, but I will announce it next week.
Yeah, we constantly. I'm here for good announcements. But on that note.
Yes, Kelvin, you can come.
On that note, thank you so much tuning in again at our new time Limelight Live show on.
Did you like it earlier?
I like being. It was a little traffic.
Yeah, the traffic is different at this hour.
But I can go eat earlier, so that's fine.
Right.
But yeah, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you to all of our listeners, our followers. Make sure you are following us on all of our social media platforms at Limelight Live Show. Make sure you're following the Good News Radio and tap in. I am Sharique LeMay.
I'm J Pink K. You know what it is.
And shout out to Kelvin.
Shout out to
all right, you guys.
Step into the limelight.